The Poostkurd.
Hello, Marshmallows, Taconators, and whatever else, and welcome back to the Poostkurd podcast, a long-awaited 2021-96. All right, that's what we're doing. Forget Cyberpunk 2077. This is 2096. All right, and we're coming back at you, talking about some pretty interesting stuff, and we're going to be talking about, of course, the fandom. We're going to be talking about the show itself and how it slowly degraded over time, and giving our thoughts about it and some touchy subjects that have been seen all across the wonderful and innocent place called Twitter. So and we're going to be talking about some touchy stuff, so just to bear this in mind, I'm going to pull out the old fancy broble here, and I'm going to tell you a verse from Proverbs 15:1, and it says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. So, with that in mind, it is nothing personal when we speak, but it's all about our perspective, and that's all we're trying to do. If we're trying to do anything else, then we're just kind of buttholes. So let's try not to be bungholes, and let's try to be friends. So, the first subject, but before I begin, we have some people in the chat. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Go ahead.
Alright.
What a great introduction.
Yeah, no problem.
Hello.
Oh, see, yeah, we've got a few people in here. I don't know if they want to reveal their names or not, but yeah, we've got some.
My name is Blue Emerald. Hello.
Yeah. See, we got that. We got Jiku.
Sorry if you hear noise in the background. It is my turret.
Okay, that's fine. We got a couple other people in there, but I think they're dead. So.
I was just pulled off the streets. I don't know what this is about.
It doesn't matter. Okay. Now everyone mute. Okay. So, the first subject here is kind of because I've been seeing a lot of this one music I heard from, and I even posted it in the Discord. This Make It Special remix thing by Froziggs, whatever. It just put me on some type of train. I tell you, an emotional train. Going back a decade. Surprisingly, with the fandom itself and with MLP as a whole. And I can tell you, it's it's changed dramatically, especially when Foss decided to no longer have direct, be a director specifically with the show after season 3, because that was the whole climax. That was the whole point. You look at her work from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. The second she left, it just goes downhill. It just ends funny. It just doesn't make any sense. But I was looking at this, and I kind of feel like in the beginning, the whole idea of the show, and if you were male and you liked the show, you were just ostracized by everyone. And I actually, just about a week or two ago, was speaking to someone who had both family and friends who, if anyone likes the show at any point, was immediately hated. Like, not even thinking about it, just like, oh, you like the color pink? Well, you're out of here. And it's just like, I'm a straight male, and I like me whamming. All right, I go to work just like everybody else, just like you, and it's just weird to see that in action. But the one thing that concerns me is how long will this stay in line? Because one sort of fandom or group that I was part of, it wasn't really a show, but it was more of a game. Jet Set Radio Future, I found out that, not a lot of people were into it, but when there was a couple games that came out, and then there's going to be like a new Jet Set Radio coming out as well. All these people out of the woodwork came out and just said, oh yeah, I totally love that, blah, 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 blah. It's kind of like, did that, did it really ever end, and did the fandom there ever really end, and I think it doesn't. And when I am capitalizing on the slowly degrading, you know, uh, show fans, I find that I'm diving into an opportunity rather than a risk. So it just kind of depends, but I don't know. What I primarily want to know is how everyone else feels about it. Not so much the fandom group, but more about the show, and how it's kind of from season. Everyone kind of fell off from like season like 3 mostly. Like after like once season 4 hit, they kind of just fell off. What I want to know is what made each of you kind of fall off from the show in particular, not the fandom, but just the show itself. So why don't you go ahead and you guys can unmute and you can say something. So one person will speak. Who will speak first?
No one.
No one. Okay, you spoke. You have to do it. Okay. So you have 40 seconds starting now.
I generally don't know, actually.
What season did you fall off of?
To the very end. Yeah, like I just stuck around watching the entire series until the last season.
And did you have any negative or positive thoughts about the show as a whole?
I mean, I feel like they could have done better.
Animation-wise or story-wise?
The story.
Because the characters, they just felt like they were thrown in.
Pretty much.
Wow, I just literally spoke for you. I literally spoke for you. Okay. There's only 3 people left. Who's next?
Dashi.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so then there's 2. Okay, which one of you will speak? I'm trying to be a not Blue. Okay, Blue, you go first.
Well, I watched the whole show. I know a lot of people had their ups and downs about the show, but when I mostly watched it, I liked the whole. Ironically, I had to watch it through a lot of people reacting to it because I didn't have the channel at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I still watched the whole show from beginning to end. And the funny thing about how I even bumped into the whole show wasn't even through the show itself, it was through people creating stuff.
Ah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would you watch it all
at
over
first,
again?
Oh, actually, yeah, I would.
Oh.
Even though the show's been long gone and is probably a husk of its former self, I'd still watch it.
Okay. We'll finish that last statement.
But yeah, it's just it's hard to really explain nowadays since the show's been gone like a lot of other shows.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to really say.
Okay, that's good. Okay, Jiku, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just mute so someone else talk.
Okay, go ahead, Jiku.
Alright, so it's mostly like what Blue said. My Little Pony was good as it was. I didn't think they had to like improve the story or anything. It was like already good. It was fine as it is. I watched it through beginning through end. I liked the animation, the drawings, and how they introduced the characters. It was pretty sweet.
Okay. And do you
That's all I have to
think these other spin-offs like the 3D, Hello Pinky and the Pony Life, do you think they correlate well, or do you think they need a whole new cast of characters to really sell it on it? Because they're not trying to sell to you, they're trying to sell to the 8-year-olds again, because 10 years, all the kids were 8, now they're 18, so now they have to start over. Do you think it's going well, or do you think it's something that probably needs a little work on. What do you think?
I would personally say that they would need to work on that more.
Because it's not. Do you think it doesn't correlate well, or do you think the you know the characters don't match, or the fact that they have phones?
I think they don't correlate well. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And Dashi, I guess you're not gonna say anything.
Nah, I was just waiting to be last. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So are we on the whole show or what? Are
Yeah, we're still on the show part.
well, for one, I've been losing track. I think ever since season 6, I could just never get it on time, and other stuff just got into the way. So it's like, it'd probably be posted somewhere. I might as well wait.
So you just kind of, after season 6, you were just like, that's it. I don't care enough to keep up.
Pretty much.
Okay. What threw you off from the show specifically? Not the fandom, but what about the show kind of brought you away from it?
Well, there's some parts after season 4 they started bringing in real world situation.
Really? Okay. Give me an example. Wait. Give me an example.
Well, I can't think on the top of my head because it's been so long since I've actually seen it.
Real world situations. Huh.
Like between two people, not like the entire episode or something.
Oh, okay. I get you.
Maybe you miscommunicated with me.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. Okay. And that's kind of your whole shabackle based on the show?
Pretty much.
Okay, fair enough. All right, everyone mute again. So the next subject that is specifically the fandom, aka the people. And I assume for most that I've spoken to, it was the people that drove them away from the whole show and the community itself. You know, the family treats them different, their friends treat them different. You know, there's just a negative outlook on it. And honestly, for most people, it was just a show that they hated. I hated it at first. I genuinely hated it at first. But I was just like, you know what? The story's good. I mean, the pacing's terrible, but the story I can relate to. Okay, cool. Because a lot of people needed to be, you know, it's based off of this one show or something like that. Good Night Bear or something like that. And also Barney, you know, where they have a lesson to teach at the end of it. It's like some people just can't grasp onto that, and they just needed to be reminded in the 21st century, you know, about building friends, because a lot of people were very lonely in that sense. For me, the fandom didn't really have too much of an effect. It didn't really affect me negatively, but it didn't affect me positively either. I think with all the well, nowadays especially, all the negative connotations that go with it, it would drive some people to leave, and I could see all the good stuff that has been created with it, with all the music, the art, it's halfway built the careers for half of the community. So I think that's pretty darn positive, and I think it's pretty darn cool that, you know, we can go against the grain, and some super buff, you know, angry looking dude can be like, my favorite horse is Rarity. You know, they can literally just be open about themselves and what they're interested in, versus being stone cold and monster trucks and, you know, cigarettes and, you know, just trying to fit the image that everyone else wants of them, instead of the image that they want to create for themselves. And there's some negative stuff and obviously some dirty stuff, but I kind of said, you know what, they're creating something, and I'm glad they're just getting it all out of their systems now and coming together as one. So you can unmute, and we'll go in the same order. So Lone, why don't you go ahead and you go first, and you have 40 seconds to speak what's on your brain concerning the fandom itself. or other fandoms?
I generally have like mixed feeling towards the people actually. Like I hate them, but at the same time I like them because they're very creative. But at the same time, they can cause a ton of nonsense, nuisance, something like that.
Nuisance. They can
Yeah.
be a nuisance. Okay.
But overall, the creativity that these people have, it's like the only thing that kind of gets me into the fandom. And not only that, like living the fandom, it's like what else is there? Move on with your life. That's about it.
Yep. I can see that. Do you feel that the whole MLP as a franchise will be part of your life 20 years later? Do you feel that it would be a major part, or take a very little part, or just be in the memory of? What do you think it'll be?
I really can't tell that.
Can't tell right now. Well, that's fine, because everyone's just trying to decide right now, and I'm probably the oldest one here, so that's probably that's probably why I'm like, I've already decided, man. Okay.
Like, yeah, I could stay, but at the same time, I'm like, you gotta move on at some point.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's like, it's not a thing that's gonna last forever.
Yeah, it definitely won't last. It's what you choose to do. For me, it's like what you choose to do along with it. So how are you building yourself? How are you building your career? You know, your life. If it's something that's holding you back from that, you know, get it out of your life. But if it's something that's enhancing it or making it more fun, you know, keep it around. So that's kind of how I see things. But I understand where you're coming from. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Blue, you're next.
Well, how I see it, the funny thing is, if it weren't for this random fandom of ours, I probably wouldn't even watch the show in the first place. Because the thing is, I was probably 13, 14, maybe 15 or 16 around there. And I was just strobing around YouTube, and then I just see these weird, demented pony things. I'm like, what the heck is this? Clicks on video. Sees creepy things in other games that I didn't even know about turning into weird monsters, killing people, and then I'm like, oh wait, what is this? And then I look it up. It's about these ponies. They're pastel color things. I'm like, all right, I'll see what it's about. Watch this first episode. Okay. Gets closer and sees all the other seasons, and oh, that's cool. It's actually pretty good. And then I see, you know, the fandom and the people that were trolling it. Ironically, if it weren't for the trolls, I probably also wouldn't have watched it. So, haha, told you actually did a good thing. So that's in your mind forever. Haha.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much all I can say. So
I'm
far
glad
on that
something happened that would help you out to get into it. So that's good. Okay. Fair
but yeah,
enough.
again, trolls have made me, without
you
you
watch
doing your
ponies?
bad thing, you actually did a good thing. So without you doing what you did, you little trolls, and you know what your names are, you made me become a brony. So you created your evil.
Just like, oh no, what have we done?
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. All right, Jiku, go ahead.
Alright, so to start off, the fandom, they already spend a lot of time on everything they do.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other dark side of it, like all the horror games,
Yeah.
like, why would you make a horror game based off of a show for 8-year-olds? I mean, like, all in what you are planning, like, to do with them, but, like, why are you trying to scare them off at the first place? I mean, they already know that they're gonna love it, but then after you show them that, they're gonna be horrified.
Yeah. They surprisingly, I have a couple nephews or whatever, and they see. I find it very strange. They see a whole bunch of this. They see the bendy stuff. They see the siren head stuff. You know, and they see these things and they're like, this is cool. I am interested. And then at one point they saw some of the pony stuff, and they were like, "This is interesting." And then they saw my collection of of horse things, and then they were just like, "Which one's that one? I like that. I want to be that. That's me." And I'm like, "What the?" Because they're curious little creatures, so I can see where it could terrify them once they got to if they were either young enough or gotten to a certain age. I'm just trying to concept on that. Okay. But is that all? Is that all that was
Yeah,
on your?
that's all I have to say.
Okay. Donut, go ahead. The fandom.
So I'm Donut now.
Yes.
Okay, so my personal experience for the people I've been talking with, well, in this current generation, are like the kind of people that you want to stay away from. But back then, when it was starting to grow, it started to get big and started to get known, yeah, there were some good people. There was a lot of good creators. Some people make some good music with good beats. Some did not age well. And all those horror games that he mentioned earlier, sure, they're cringy, but that jump-started someone's coding skill, someone's gaming skill into gaming development. And who knows what they could be doing a couple of years from now with that same skill set.
Okay. So that kind of, you think you have like a neutral kind of like, neutral positive view on the fandom.
There's some good Apple, there's some bad ones. That's just my view.
Okay, fair enough. All right, bam, we got you in, Donut. All right, so we finished both of these. So for this, all of you need to be muted because I know all of you are gonna have something to say on this, and that's okay. Let me check the time. We're good. This is going to be a touchy stuff. So, the next and last thing that we're going to talk about on the Poostkurd podcast, not to keep this going on for too much longer, is Twitter. And, just like Reddit and sometimes even YouTube, it is a very, quote unquote, what the kids use nowadays, toxic place. It's filled with people where their only desire is to destroy other people's lives. And what I'm here to do, I've got me some Bible verses, I got me some articles, and I also have me some evidence and some ratings and stuff to kind of not speak on what ifs, but to speak on FACTS, speak on those terms. And, well, actually, some people may not consider the Brobel that. But anyway, so with Twitter in particular, it kind of... My quote-unquote persona that I put on, and this one's going to be a long one, guys, so strap in. But my kind of persona when it comes to YouTube and stuff like that is just this weird looking character that goes around just totally obsessed with butts or whatever, and then if they're young enough, that's even better, but everyone who's ever interacted with me has always had a positive outlook on it because it's a JOKE, and ever since 2018 it seems like those have died. Those have completely died off. And I can't even say a dang black joke without making someone upset. And I'm like, I'm black. All right. How can I do this? And I really, you find places online where nobody's safe and the only goal is to bring other people down so you feel good. And I don't think that is a healthy solution to anybody's problem. So I think it was like a week or two ago, maybe more, I don't know. Time's just kind of been all over the place since I've been stuck indoors. What you call it? There's this. Some of you may know about it, but I'm gonna need you to refrain and not interrupt. But there was this musical artist, and you guys probably heard about it. that whole Omnipon-y dude who came out of the woodwork out of nowhere and just admitted, he had touchy time with someone who was underage. And then I decided to get on Twitter because, people wouldn't stop blasting it in my face. So I decided to check it out and just see what are people saying, and what followed it was not only an apology, which was stupid. You don't ask apology from people. You're not going to get it. But I saw an apology, and I saw that, that they were seeking help. And, a lot of people just don't like, pedo bears, and there's a reason for it. And, it's justified, but their actions, not them as people. So when I saw it and I looked at some of the people, even the people that I follow, say these horrendous things. Oh, hello. Who joined? Red Wolf. Okay, so Red,
Hello.
We are in a podcast, and even though you want to say something, you can't say nothing. So you have to mute yourself. So you can't participate in this one, but that's okay. Where was I? Oh yeah. I saw a whole bunch of the tweets or whatever from people that I followed, and they were absolutely just horrendous. You should go kill yourself. I hope your family kills you. All the just awful things you wouldn't say to them in their face. Or you might, but it's just these awful, horrendous things. And I realize that this nation has gone from a nation of, innocent until proven guilty. Now we're guilty until proven innocent, directly from, the National Guard has to approve you. Like, what? Why do people from such a high amount, like, why people don't have that? Just to quote the Holly Bibble real quick, this person was seeking help, and I see Matthew chapter 7 verse 8 through 10. For everyone who asks receives, and for who seeks finds, and who knocks the door will be opened. Or what man among you who is, if his son asks for bread, you'll give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, you give him a snake? If he's asking for help or asking for forgiveness, give him the hotline. Give him, the help. Give him the solutions. Instead, the only thing he was given was just hate. And I'm not siding with the actions of this individual. I'm just, the one thing that I'm aiming for is, it kind of worries me because I edge that with my content. I edge that a lot, but I know it's all just a thing. But when is it going to happen where my content becomes the next, Twitter or something? I don't know. It's just a scary thing. So, with that stated, I kind of look at this from a few perspectives. One of those is the aftermath of all this. If I look on here, and this is just a outlier for just those who think about it more politically, but it's the same thing that applies. So Matthew Porter from the University of Lynchburg, Virginia, he's talking on The Lone Conservative, and he states, quote, in 2020, cancel culture has become the left's go-to response for things they don't like, forcing apologies from late night host Jimmy Fallon to repeated failed attempts to take down podcast icon Joe Rogan, aka, Fear Factor guy. Those on the left have done that. If they don't like what you have to say, then you should be banned from saying it. That's pretty much what they're advocating for. And if that was the case, everyone would be canceled. I don't know if you've seen that one YouTube video, but I don't have it on me. Everyone trying to cancel Krabs, Mr. Krabs, and Squidward standing up for Mr. Krabs. And Mr. Krabs made fun of squids, And he's like, none of you are squids. Why are you offended? So it's just this idea. And I have another thing here from news outlets. Good Morning America. There is the former President Barack Obama talks about the situations like these. And let me see if I can find that specific quote here. Yes. So he states he was talking to these people, and he says, the world is messy. There are ambiguities. People who do good stuff have flaws. People who you are fighting may love their kids and share certain things with you. And even this, more people, they were talking, they were just like, one of the reasons cancel culture has gone on much more rapidly in the past few years is because people hide behind screens. I won't share it with you guys, but I took a old Facebook post that I had, this long gone, and it talked about my weird fetishes or something like that, really, really weird stuff. And I was open about it. And there was just, I had like, what was it, 30, 40 comments of people, random people, agreeing with me. And if I were to post that today, it's like I shot, the president's baby or something. Like, it's just bad. And, this article also goes over the people who have been canceled in other areas, including this areas of, pedo bear stuff. I had a career for 20 years, and when you Google me, that's the first thing that shows up, just bad stuff. People who've gone through cancer, and it's just message after message. From the World Population Review, most of this suicide rates have gone up 200%. And the one thing with America is that they're ranked number 27. And included in that 200% is not only due to the whole Chinese virus or whatever, it's also including the canceled people. When you're canceled, you have two options. You either hang low, like this one lady who was low since like 90 something or whatever, when she was made fun of on talk show hosts, or you can kick the bucket because you can't get a job. You're not welcome amongst your family, your friends. You're not welcome among the homeless, because a homeless can now have phones, and you're not welcome there. You're not, even if you move cities, like, what other options do you have other than kicking the bucket? So I find that very peculiar. And then when I say with this, and even if you don't even have to think about this religiously, but what I would want to tell these Twitter people, what I would want to tell them, is a quote from the Bible, John 8:7. It says, Jesus speaking to the Pharisees and all these people who are quote unquote religious and having their own doctrine or whatever. He says, he is who without sin cast the first stone. And I want everyone who's never ever done bad to cancel me. Who has never ever done bad to cancel me. That's what I want them to do. And it's just like, it makes me frustrated when I saw that, because I'm like, I can't even be funny anymore, even joking about this kind of stuff. It's a serious subject, but I can't even joke about it anymore, because people just get so gung-ho about this situation when all of them are bad. He's seeking help. Let him have the help. I unfollowed so many people after people put Omnipon-y down. I unfollowed so many people. It's disgusting. Because all of them wanted him to kill himself, his family to kill him, and stuff like that. When half these people have probably stolen, what tiers of crime is there? No, all sin is equal. If you steal from a baby, it's like you just murdered their parents. It doesn't matter. All sin is equal. You can take it from the criminal justice side of things, but if you take it from a humanitarian thing. So if I were to speak to Omnipon-y, I would say, I forgive you, and that doesn't mean, it does not mean when in a trial, if someone is speaking and they murdered their, I don't know, their family member or something, and the person says, I forgive you, they don't mean that they forgive their actions. They forgive them as a person. With every action, there's a consequence. Free speech is not without consequence. So it was kind of dumb that he spoke about it. So I guess that was the thing, but he took a bad take. And one of the last Brobel quotes that I'll quote here is from Philippians 4, 6 through 8. It says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, that your requests be made known to God. And peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Jesus Christ. Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good rapport, if there is any virtue, if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. So if there's anything, if you want to remember someone a certain way, remember the experiences that they provided. So if someone I still listen to R. Kelly. Everyone's just thinking like, if you listen to him, you support him, blah, blah. The experiences that I had as, growing into adolescence was a positive one. Just because he done something negative is not going to be the thing that I follow in the steps of. It means he provided a positive experience that I can pass on or express through other people. And I just find that this world is just kind of falling apart, and it just makes me want to get my visa to leave and give up my citizenship as an American, because it may be the most free, but it's the most silent, because you can't say anything. And people need to understand when I say these things. Let's include the Webster's Dictionary. Judgment and decisions, just like gender and sex, are the same thing by synonym. So in order to make a decision, you have to judge whether or not that decision is right. In order to make a judgment, you have to decide the outcome of that scenario. I just find it just really frustrating how the people online are just quick to anger, and what was good is now bad, and what is bad is now good. I am so frustrated with this world, and it makes me worry for I do YouTube for a hobby. It makes me worry. So what I want to know from you guys, and I'll give you guys like a whole minute to just kind of speak on your thoughts on all this. Now, in knowing that I said this stuff, and knowing that you won't speak in what ifs, you'll speak from experience, and you'll speak from resources, not resources from a blogger, not resources from some dude on the internet, but resources from like a cosmetologist, or resources from someone who's a doctor, someone who is in their field and that is their life, or a book, the thing that has printed pages. What I want to know is, I know that you guys hate Twitter, but what I want to know is what you guys think about this particular situation, because it's very touchy, and you now have my opinion on the whole thing. I don't agree with what he did, but I forgive him as a person. I don't think he should be hung by the whatever, because there's been scenarios where, like I said, I talked like this. I've been doing it for years, but when the recorder stops and I talk to them, they know it's a joke. They understand that this is just play on words. But I don't know. I'm very frustrated with people, but I just wanted to get that out there in this podcast or something like that. So just to have it on the record, But go ahead. Lone, let's start with you. I'll give you 1 minute to kind of spill the beans, so to speak. So, and go.
I don't know, Twitter. I know Twitter was different back in the old days. I know right now it's a bit, rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
honestly can't say too much about it. Like I can't really go against Twitter. Like the people themselves, like they do what they do, even though if it causes harm.
Yeah. Like it's
For me, I see stuff like that and I just be like, it's their problem, not my problem. I do my own stuff here. I have my own things going on.
yeah.
They have nothing else to do other than cause other people's problem, which is why stuff like this happens.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's like I consider them people who cancel other people just murderers because they only give them two options: go under or kill yourself. That's it. And I don't find that funny. And even through my content, and I've probably said it enough times already, but you know, every month, ever since I started this YouTube channel, every single time, I cannot tell you how many times, but every single month or every other month, on the dime, I'm getting a message, someone saying, you know, your videos help me through blank, or you talked me through this, or blah 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 blah. Like I get it every single month, and it's somebody new each time. Sometimes I've never met them before, and that gives me the reason to keep going. And even with kind of the weird stuff that I do online with the whole, you know, Phillies and all that, but if it means that I run the risk of this, you know, I have to wonder, is it worth to keep going? If it means that I stop someone's, you know, I've been doing YouTube for since for this channel since 2014. It's about close to 300 people. So if you prevented 300 deaths, I can. Well, it's around like 2 something, but you know, I can say 300. You know, it's who do you know that prevented 300 deaths? You know, I don't know many. I don't know many. So
Other than Markiplier, but
other than Markiplier, other
I
than
know he
Markiplier.
does. I know he does talk about his stuff and helps others.
Yeah, it's he does some good spanking stuff. But would everything he's ever done become void because, let's say, he comes out of the woodwork one day and says, "Hey guys, I touched someone last week."
Yeah.
Would all his work go in vain, or would it just be like, okay, no, he actually did help people. He just made a flaw because we're all flawed. So it's just hard getting people on that mindset of stop being a stupid goldfish. All right, don't just forget. Here's a reminder: you're human. But okay, I get your piece. Anything else you want to state, Lone?
I mean, what makes us humans, after all?
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Well then, now, Blue, it is your turn, and go.
Well, from all this mess, knowing what people do in this world, I've hated most of the things people have done. I've seen it all. I could go on and on, but you know this video you're doing is not going to go for infinity, right? So I'm just going to make it short. You know, when I first came to this whole internet world,
Mm-hmm.
I was just oblivious. I was a young, oblivious little child who just played video games and looked at things, and then the internet happened to me, and everything changed. I saw everything just crazy. I subscribed to some YouTubers. Only one YouTuber I knew watched a lot passed away, and I didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
Another YouTuber was found out to be a creepo, and I was like, oh no, and then I just stopped watching their videos. And I've seen YouTube drama, I've heard YouTube drama, and then I always try to find out after all the drama's over to just find some YouTubers who just are chilling, playing some games, being a goofball or whatever. And then no matter how far I try to get past it all, it just comes back. And it's 2021 now, and I'm not going to even talk about politic crap here because that's not what we're talking about. But so far, this whole year and the year before, it's been a dumpster fire. And the only way I've been keep saying is through my friends that I've met through this fandom,
Yeah.
through this show. So, even knowing I've seen some dark sides of this place, I'm not gonna leave. Because if I didn't even find this fandom, I'd probably be just alone.
You deny yourself of that experience of
Because
happiness. Yeah.
because most of my friends, they're far away, and it's hard to really talk to them because some of them already have jobs. I don't have a job. I have my ID. I have all the things I need, but after this, virus came in, it's
Yeah.
been hard to do anything. I've been trying to draw, talk to friends, but you just can't stop. Everybody's got their dark sides. Everyone, I mean, I know that sounds kind of a weird thing to say,
Yeah.
but hey, but sometimes that dark side isn't so big. Maybe it's a small, insignificant little thing. Or it could be a big, huge monster. Who knows? You just need to know them.
Okay.
Get to know them.
Good. 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 Good.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, good. All right. That was like 3 minutes, but that's okay. That's good. Okay. Jiku.
Sorry.
No. You're fine. You're fine. And Jiku, it'll be your turn and go.
All right. It's to this point. I do not know what to say at all. Just okay. Hold on, let me summarize this down just
Mhm.
really fast.
Yeah.
I have never used Twitter before, but I know what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Like, the problem with all the YouTubers getting accused for pedophilia,
Yeah.
it's basically gonna become one thing where, oh my, this YouTuber's a pedophile. It's
Yeah.
literally just where you can say one word and everything goes loose.
Yep.
Just hell breaks out.
I agree. And what do you think? What do you think the best solution to solve this or whatever?
I don't think there is a solution.
Oh, you don't think there is one? You think like, well,
I don't think there's ever gonna be a solution because I don't know. It's Earth. People can say what they want, and they can just ruin your reputation. Reputation. Whoops.
reputunity. I like that.
Yeah, totally about it. Totally didn't have a stroke right there.
All right, that's good. All right, glad for that point on the view. Dash, you're the last one. Finish the mission.
So this whole Twitter cancel culture thing, what I honestly think that
Mhm.
it's completely absurd and stupid, because people are going out of their way to be offended by other ethnic or be offended from other I can't think of the term.
Ethnicities.
No, it's like they're trying to be offended for somebody else, which is like you're not
Empathy.
that group. Why are you offended?
Yeah.
So the whole pedophilia is bad,
Mhm.
but it doesn't deserve to be like go kill yourself kind of bad. That's like for shooting up a school.
Yeah, it's even now. Here's the thing to think on that as well. Do you think not the actions of that school shooter, but do you think that kid deserves forgiveness?
Kid? Now that's a good question because I'm actually not sure.
Yeah. For me, I think if you've murdered 20 people, if you've had a sex dungeon, I don't know, if you steal, if you have too many offline shore accounts, I don't know, whatever you did,
But
I don't
if
think
it's like
your
something
actions
like
should
that,
be forgiven.
I would suggest is like a intense mental health in a secured area.
Yeah, getting help, and the only thing that they receive from other people is hate messages, which isn't very.
But that's the way in the internet. The internet is a lawless wasteland.
Reminded me of Fallout there for a quick
I mean,
statement.
it's true. Say one bad thing, people will be on you in seconds. There is no court in the internet. There's no Twitter court. There's no Twitter anything. And it doesn't just involve Twitter. It involves 4chan, Reddit, all that stuff.
It's just a place where, you know, I think that kind of lies. I don't wait. Is that all you have to say there?
Eh.
That's kind of okay. That's kind of it. Okay, I think that kind of plays into the parts of the parents as well. You know, tossing a computer in front of them or tossing a phone in front of them isn't parenting. You can't get mad at someone else for doing something when the only thing you did was let them loose.
That I agree, because it's the same. Like, for instance, remember how everybody was saying, "Oh, video game causes violence." Well, yeah, who buys them their video game?
Exactly. If you don't want to if you don't want that to be part of their, experience in life, then don't cause it. It really depends on the kid. It's not a guarantee. It's not like a proven. If you take some ibuprofen, you won't feel as much pain. It's not like that. It's not a guarantee that situations like that. It can do it. I was introduced to Grand Theft Auto 3 at the age of, mind you, only like for a couple days, but I was introduced to that at like the age of like 12 or something like that. Oh yeah, I'm totally just going up shooting people up using some cheat codes,
My first game I've ever played was Halo Combat Evolved, and I was 4 years old, and I got my first Xbox.
Oh wow, 4.
And I literally would not harm a second soul, other than bugs, because they're rodents.
Screw bugs.
Screw spiders. Screw mosquitoes. They're annoying.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough on there. Okay, well, I got your piece in there. What you call it? So, the rest of this article talks about canceling people is not the answer. Take a pause and think about what you're doing and how it affects the person receiving affected by those messages, because you're not the only one sending it to them. There are thousands more, and it's only causing more harm. It's not doing anything productive. A lot of the people who were canceled, and I just did a little bit of quick research here too, but I knew there is an actual, not so much a study, but it was done by another university that looked at the number of people who kick the bucket on these kinds of things. I just found it just kind of alarming how I'm not talking about the exceptions like famous people. I'm talking about the average Joe Schmo. Not a single time did I see a police report. If it is such a big deal, if you are seeing crime, which drove me nuts when I was doing the whole police academy. It drove me nuts. I'm like, if you see a crime, be it online or in person, report it. Otherwise, you're just being judge, jury, and executioner on your own, and nobody wins. So I just find it really dumb. But aside from ending it on a negative note, I appreciate all of you for giving your tidbits and listening to me vent my frustrations about the internet and how it could affect YouTube or my YouTube in fact. Let's end it on a positive note. Some of you may not be part of the fandom anymore, but if you could, so please go ahead and tell me which horse is your favorite horse and why. That would be great. This way I know just a little bit more about you. So, Lone, why don't you tell me who is your favorite horse? Go ahead.
I'll have to say Vinyl Scratch, since she's the first character I met in the fandom. Because
Really?
the only thing that drove me into this fandom was music. And one of the first music that I saw from the community was a Curiosity mix.
Dang.
And it had a picture of Vinyl Scratch on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, dang. Okay. I got you. We got Vinyl up in here. Blue, who's your favorite?
Dude, this is like the easiest question. Look at my character.
Okay. I mean, just no.
Bruh,
Tell us for
dude,
the people who can't see, because it's audio. Tell us for the people who can't see.
Okay. Pinkie Pie. Okay.
Pinkie Pie.
I'm a very hyper extroverted ball of energy that tries his damnedest to make friends and has succeeded. But unlike Pinkie Pie, even though I do like the character, I have learned some people are introverted people, and I try not to jump into their business.
Okay, fair enough. You like
But
that.
the reason why, is obvious because I like to make people happy.
Good. You better.
Well, that was easy. And what do you mean you better? You've been making people happy for a while too.
You
Aren't you
better.
a favorite pony?
No, not me yet. No. Listen, we gotta keep it PG. Okay. Hey.
Oh
Jiku,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I am keeping it PG. Good grief.
No, Jiku. No, Jiku. Who's your favorite and why?
Who's my favorite?
Yeah.
I'd probably say Twilight.
Okay. Why?
Why? Already off the bat, Twilight likes making friends, just like me. I mean, like, I probably like Twilight and Pinkie Pie because I have a crap ton of energy and just love making friends.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that part for sure. Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. Since Dash wants to go last, okay, Red, you heard this. Red, are you still in the chat? Okay, he is dead. Okay.
I'm still here.
Oh, you're still here. Okay, who's your favorite horse and why?
I kind of left the fandom.
I know, but imagine you were in it, all right? Who would be your favorite and why?
Or who
What
was?
if I don't want to imagine it?
You are excluded from future podcasts. Okay, fine. Skip you. Okay, Dash, go ahead. Tell us who's your favorite and why. Well, we obviously okay.
Well, best horse is the sky blue tender-colored or rainbow horse.
Wow, that's so specific. I love it.
Yes.
And why specifically?
Her over-competitive nature is something that I've been growing up with when I have siblings. When you have siblings, you have that competitiveness with them when you actually do stuff with them, like game or play outside when you were kids.
Oh yeah.
And just the bright colors of her coat and mane just brings light into this dark, gray, cruel world.
Well, you're right. Because you got to compete for food, you got to compete for love, you got to compete for games.
Life is just a game of survival. It's like Minecraft, but real.
Send me your memes.
You die it's Minecraft hardcore mode.
Oh man, you got it. Well, at least there's no, like, I mean, unless you have the spawn of creepers up a whole bunch more, that'll change it.
Oh, there's creepers. It's called terrorists.
Oh, okay. Anyway, all right. That's gonna be close to it for the Poostkurd podcast. This was a huge long one. Normally they only last about like 10 minutes. This one lasted nearly an hour. So this I appreciate everyone. I hope everyone has a new perspective on me. Maybe they're gonna cancel me while I'm not looking, and probably use this audio against me. I don't know. You never know. I could be canceled on Reddit, and I don't even use it. You never know. So that could totally happen. So I appreciate
My opinion.
those of you. Silence. I appreciate those of you who participated. Now you can be unsilent, and I want all of you to say goodbye at the last time on 3. Okay. At the same time. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Goodbye.
Oh,
Goodbye.
If you
Oh.
enjoy this audio stream, please leave a like.
Okay, no, be
Turn on
quiet.
that
No.
notification
On the podcast. Hope the audio finds you well and you enjoy your day.
Yes, good. And I forgot to mention my favorite horse. Mine is Milky Way. So, I mean, you can probably guess the reasons. I only
It's
like it.
Rasante.
All right. All
Oh
right.
my.
For the phones.
Listen, if we want to talk official, well, not official, but we go, what is it? What was it? Yeah, it's Milky Way. Then it goes to a mix between RD and Cowboy Bebop, and then there's Trixie, and then there's Derpy, and then there's what was the one after that? Oh yeah, Miss Cheerly, and then and the reasons why you can obviously guess, but don't look into Milky Way that much. Anyway, bye.